Every year, thousands of people vanish into the wilderness. We usually attribute these cases to a tragic misstep, an animal attack, or a sudden change in weather. But buried within those statistics is a specific subset of disappearances where the physical evidence simply stops. A hiker's footprints terminate mid-stride in the mud. Scent-tracking dogs hit an invisible wall and refuse to move forward. Before the individual vanishes, witnesses often describe a disorienting environmental shift known as the Oz factor. The wind abruptly dies. The birds fall completely silent. A suffocating, unnatural vacuum descends on the forest, stripping away all ambient noise and leaving a deep, unnatural sense of isolation. In that heavy silence, the extraction occurs without a single snapped branch or sign of a struggle. The physical world is bypassed, leaving no trail for investigators to follow. These anomalies suggest we are dealing with something far more precise than a lost hiker. The total absence of physical clues points to a highly targeted, clinical extraction designed to leave an intentional forensic void behind. If these victims are not wandering our woods, the investigation must follow the only trail remaining, the destination of the missing. Some whistleblower accounts suggest a cosmic draft, where engineers and scientists are abducted to build survival colonies on the Moon or Mars. However, the most consistent narratives point toward a much closer destination. They describe a massive subterranean network where humans are processed strictly as a raw biological resource. Unreturned abductees enter a rigid extraterrestrial industrial supply chain, where their value is measured purely by their utility to the system. Deep beneath Archula Mesa in New Mexico lies the rumored epicenter of this operation. Centuries of genetic cloning describe a multi-layered underground fortress called Dulce Base, with its deepest sector, Level 6, operating as a subterranean processing center known as Nightmare Hall. Centuries of genetic cloning have left the gray aliens with completely atrophied, non-functional digestive systems. They survive through cutaneous absorption, soaking in vats of hormone-rich chemical soup, liquefied human tissues, to absorb nutrients directly through their porous skin. For the unreturned trapped in these lower levels, the reality is entirely clinical. They are held in biomechanical pods and treated as laboratory subjects, systematically harvested to keep a failing species alive. Inside Nightmare Hall, human life is stripped of consciousness and identity, reduced to a biological battery used to sustain the extraterrestrial metabolic cycle. A different psychological exploitation awaits the abductees who are kept physically intact. Historian Dr. David M. Jacobs identified this as the hybridization program. By splicing human DNA with their own, the Greys have engineered hybrids, transgenic entities designed to look indistinguishable from modern humans. These hybrids possess a major operational flaw. Because they are raised within a sterile, telepathic hive mind, they have no understanding of human culture, emotion, or basic survival. This is the grim purpose of the captive unreturned. Under constant telepathic surveillance, these human survivors serve as mandatory behavioral instructors. They spend their lives teaching these cold, expressionless hybrids how to perform the simplest tasks, how to tie shoes, make a bed, and mimic human emotional cues. This training allows the hybrids to pass undetected in our neighborhoods. These human instructors provide the essential research and development necessary for a quiet, undetected invasion of society. This infiltration bypasses the need for orbital fleets or visible lasers. It is a quiet, biological takeover that utilizes our own DNA as the primary weapon. The unreturned are stripped of their autonomy and transformed into forced accomplices, training the very hybrids designed to mimic and replace them. These accounts reflect our most primal fear, the absolute loss of bodily autonomy to a higher intelligence that views us as nothing more than raw materials. The ultimate horror at the vanishing point is the clinical efficiency of the process. Humanity is being systematically repurposed to manage its own obsolescence.
When top-tier physicists and space scientists disappear without a trace, the public mind hates the empty space. We rush to fill that explanatory vacuum with the most grandiose cosmic narratives imaginable. In June 1977, a British television broadcast aired a highly sophisticated mock documentary meant to satire, but viewers watching from their living rooms took the narrative seriously, birthing a massive, enduring conspiracy. The theory was called Alternative 3. The premise was that a joint American and Soviet elite had secretly realized Earth's biosphere was undergoing terminal collapse. Their supposed solution was a covert space migration program. But building and maintaining secret colonies on the Moon and Mars required intellectual labor. The myth alleged that the elite were kidnapping the world's brightest scientific minds and forcing them into off-world servitude. Skeptics dismiss Alternative 3 as fiction, but the broadcast's legacy is undeniable. It demonstrated how a well-crafted narrative can fill the silence left by missing intellectuals, turning unexplained disappearances into a coordinated off-world exodus. Look at this clipping from 1947. This incident at Roswell sparked a different, equally expansive myth. Instead of intellectuals being taken by force, some believe humanity traded them willingly. In the lore of Project Serpo, 12 human military personnel boarded an alien craft in 1965. Their destination was the Zeta Reticuli star system, over 39 light-years away, where they would spend 13 years in an interstellar exchange program. The rumor operated in the shadows for decades, until 2005, when an anonymous informant started leaking mission logs to UFO researchers, detailing the harsh climate and daily survival struggles of these 12 human pioneers. Forced off-world labor camps, decades-long interstellar treaties. These are massive, elaborate systems designed to explain absence. But what if none of these people ever left the Earth? The detailed logs of Project Serpo ultimately collapsed. Investigators eventually tracked the anonymous emails directly to a man named Richard Doty. Doty was a government counterintelligence agent. His actual job was to seed elaborate extraterrestrial lies into the public sphere. If investigators were chasing rumors of 12 men on a distant planet, they weren't looking into classified military aviation projects right here at home. When physical space travel narratives shatter under the weight of military deception, we are forced to stop looking at distant star systems and start looking at the ground beneath our feet. This pivot leads to the interdimensional hypothesis. It suggests the missing don't cross light years of space, but rather slip through tears in reality that overlap directly with our own physical environment. Take Granger Taylor. He was a mechanical prodigy who built a life-sized UFO replica on his family farm. One stormy night in 1980, he left a note stating he was embarking on a 42-month interstellar voyage, drove off in his Datsun truck, and vanished entirely. 2 years earlier, pilot Frederick Valentich disappeared while flying his Cessna over the ocean. His final act was radioing air traffic control to report a hovering metallic craft shadowing his plane. This map of the Bass Strait shows his exact flight path. Despite massive searches, only a single engine cowflap was recovered. Investigations blame gravity-induced spatial disorientation causing a crash, but believers insist the aircraft was pulled directly from our dimension. We see the same pattern in modern wilderness cases. Todd Seas disappeared in 2002 after witnesses reported aerial anomalies. Monica Reza vanished in the Angeles National Forest, walking a mere 30 feet behind her companion. Search teams often recover nothing from these dense, unforgiving environments. For anomalous researchers, this total lack of evidence shifts the focus away from terrestrial accidents and toward the theory of overlapping realities. The truth of these disappearances is often hidden beneath the mythology we build around them. Years after Granger Taylor's supposed interstellar departure, fragments of his truck and pieces of human bone were found inside a local dynamite blast zone. The physical evidence points directly to a tragic drug-fueled suicide. Yet his family and close friends actively reject this forensic reality. For those left behind, the myth of alien abduction serves as a heavy protective shield. It replaces the agonizing reality of self-destruction with the comforting grace of cosmic selection. The human brain struggles to process meaningless earthly trauma. When reality becomes too painful to bear, we construct elaborate fictions to give the void shape and purpose. Clinical neurology shows us exactly how this happens. Extreme grief, profound abuse, and dissociative states physically alter how we perceive our environment. Our neural pathways rewire themselves to survive the trauma. The mind externalizes the earthly pain to an untouchable force, constructing a spiritually transforming narrative of extraterrestrial intervention. This cognitive process takes a victim of unexplained loss and remakes them into a chosen pioneer. By externalizing pain to a cosmic force, the brain creates a version of the event that is survivable. The dark taxonomies of the unreturned are a testament to the mind's ability to protect its own stability. We have spent decades searching the stars for answers, only to find that the most complex frontier in the universe is our own psychology.